Welcome to Find Your Clear Vision, a personal branding and mindset podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Guillot. I help high-performing leaders like you reignite the connection to your highest self and design your life and brand from the inside out. I'm a blend of bright colors and deep conversations, tarot cards and strategy decks, bluegrass, and Tribe Called Quest. If you're looking to bring your fullest expression to your life, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hey friend, welcome. I am so honored that you are going to be spending some time with me today. This is going to be an Ask Me Anything episode. I had two questions that came in through my website on the contact page, where you are more than welcome to submit a question there as well that you want to have answered on the podcast. These two questions had a similar vibe to them, which is why I wanted to share them with you today. They're about creating a personal brand in the workplace and the energy that you need to put yourself out there. So before we dive into that, I, of course, wanted to share with you a new review that came in on Apple Podcasts. And my guess is that this is not this individual's real name, but I loved it anyways. Timmy-ya, with there must be 6 H's at the end there. Timmy-ya. And they write, Lisa asks the deep questions to help you get to your why, but in a big, bold balloon of joy. It's a delight to listen on my walks or on a car ride. She's a bright spark of inspiration. Thank you, Timmy-ya. That was so sweet. I loved hearing that. And I, of course, would love if you wanted to rate and review on Apple Podcasts or share with a friend. It's always great to invite more people to come and have this type of conversation with me. But first, before we dive into these two questions, I wanted to share with you something fun that's coming up just in a few short weeks. Actually, it might be next week. It's the beginning of October. I am going to be hosting a Be Bright virtual retreat, and it's going to be a little bit different this time. We are absolutely going to define your future vision on your terms, and it's going to be on your own time. Whereas in the past, I have hosted the Be Bright virtual retreat live on Saturday morning. And then on Sunday, you do the work on your own with the digital workbook, the playlist, the meditations. And then we meet again on Monday evening to actually create a 12-week plan. This time, the pre-recorded videos are going to be released on Saturday morning and Monday afternoon, but they're yours to keep. You get to do it on your own time. It is a gift for yourself to define your clear future vision in your personal brand or business, then create that rock solid plan and have the motivation to make it happen. So I want to invite you for just $97, you can grab your ticket to get access to so many little bits of goodies. Like I said, that pre-recorded video is going to be released starting at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is going to begin your clear vision path. In this session, we're going to go deep dive into the inner platform of who you need to be in order to create your clear vision with mindset and self-awareness work. And then the next day, I want you to schedule time for you. This is for you to take time to immerse yourself into getting rid of the habits, the energy that no longer serves you, to clear out that malaise. Isn't that a great word? Malaise. With the digital workbook that you will be receiving. You'll also be receiving a meditation playlist, and this will really help ignite a visceral experience for you to have on your own. Then Day 3, I will be releasing an hour-long pre-recorded video that's going to help you map out a 12-week plan using my clear vision setting process. And so in this session, we're going to move the inner work to an outer expression of how you actually are going to start to show up and take action on your clear vision declaration. And bonus, one last moment here, you'll also have the opportunity to book a 30-minute private session with me so I can help you through any loose ends and hold you accountable to your future vision. So if you're in, I would absolutely love to have you join me virtually. And you can find a link to all this information and how to buy your ticket at bebrightlisa.com/virtual-retreat. bebrightlisa.com/virtual-retreat. Or just hop over to my website and go to group programs, and this will be right there waiting for you. Cool? Awesome. So let's dive into these questions. The first question came from someone named Lauren. And Lauren asks, how can you create a personal brand in a work environment? I'm a managing director and have been with my company for years and want to move into a new role. What do you suggest? Thank you, Lauren, for sending this question. I think that this is going to resonate with a lot of people who are in a career for their livelihood versus being a business owner, for example. And can you establish a personal brand within your career path and within your company? Absolutely, 100%. In fact, it takes on the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, I'm counting on my fingers, the same 5 pillars and intentions that I use for helping anyone create a personal brand or their thought leadership. And the first method to doing that is to really lock into what your intention is for building your personal brand. All right. You want to move into a new role. Cool. That's actually kind of just a step 1. What's your intention in this new role? What do you want to create? Is it for an impact goal or is it an income goal? How do you see yourself in the new role? Who do you need to be in this new role? How can you embody that mindset now? So start to think about what is your intention and not just like the first to check off a box on climbing the corporate ladder. That is not an intention. Okay. That's not an intention I'm willing to play. Let's just put it that way. So instead, look underneath the surface and get elevated to your highest self and ask from that place, what is my intention for this new role? And who do I need to be within that? All right. The next pillar for building your personal brand, even within a workplace, is you want to inspire others to embrace your vision, to embrace your intention, to put you in this new role. We need to inspire others. And I think one way to get really behind this idea of how do I inspire others to see my vision is to ask yourself, why do they even care? Why would they care that it's me who is going to be in this new role? Because guess what? Attention is the new currency. We want to capture other people's attention. And this is going to sound a little bit opposite of maybe what your intuition is telling you. But to capture attention, we don't want to talk. We want to listen. We want to listen and then share and respond. That's how we're going to engage into truly inspire others, is to show that you are an active participant in their well-being, in their ROI, and in what they also want to create for themselves. Do they want to work with you? My guess is the answer is yes. But similarly, how are you going to lead the company through this new way of embracing and being your vision? All right. How are you going to inspire others to embrace your vision. You got to listen first. Listen, share, and respond. And then I want you to think about how can you be of service? How can you be of service? We're not here to climb the corporate ladder. Instead, how can you help? What unique skill set do you have that you can share and be of service? That's what's going to make you stand out. Then with building a personal brand or thought leadership, even within a workplace, we need to build that audience. We need support. It's not just you running the company. We need to build a supportive team around us who also believe and embrace our vision, right? These are the folks that we have inspired. These are the folks that we are being of service to. And in turn, I'm using air quotes here, they in essence become our followers, our community, our audience. And then the final step I would suggest in helping create your personal brand within the workspace so you can move into a new role, you have got to clearly communicate your message. Clearly communicate what you want, what your clear vision is, that you are here to inspire others. So this is really the outer expression of your personal brand. How can you execute and share that message? Maybe there are internal committees that you could be a part of. Maybe it's having and scheduling conversations with key players, your audience, in the company to share your vision and listen and respond. So in some cases, we often think of personal brand as this outer expression on LinkedIn or building communities online or from a founder's perspective, an entrepreneur's perspective, which is actually building an audience from a more like, let's say, volume perspective. But within a workplace, your audience, it could very well be one person that you need to communicate your message to. Or maybe it's the board of directors. Maybe it's 5 people. So consider who is your audience. How can you communicate your message? Be of service. Inspire them so they can in turn see your vision. Cool? I hope that helps, Lauren. Thank you for sending in that question. Let's move on to the next question. This is from Jacqueline. Jacqueline asks, you talk a lot about the energy it takes to reinvent yourself and put yourself out there. What are some ways I can do that? Awesome question. The reason I picked both Lauren and Jacqueline's questions to answer is because Lauren's question really reflects the outer expression, the building of your personal brand. And I shared kind of the steps on how to do that. And then Jacqueline is asking about the inner mindset work, right? The energy it takes to reinvent yourself and put yourself out there. So Lauren, my guess is that you're going to hear something in this for yourself as well. Now, I want to share with you actually an example of this because most people think that energy means I need more of it. I don't have enough of it. But it can actually show up in a lot of different ways. And let me share with you a client story. My client felt it was risky to trust herself. All right. Have you ever noticed that you may not be trusting of your decisions? For example, say you second guess yourself. Well, she found this to be true for her. She noticed that she was double checking her work. She was double checking the work of her team. She was over preparing for meetings, which really left her feeling like haphazard in her day. So time would literally spiral past her. And she noticed that by the end of the day, she was left feeling lost and unsteady, drained, right? Without enough energy. So we talked about, what do you mean by risk? Why is it risky to trust yourself? And how that made her feel in her body and what signals her body was giving her when she didn't feel like she could trust herself. And immediately she knew that she felt like out of control, or that there was this tightness in her chest with this overarching kind of hurry up, because the clock was just like ticking down and chasing her from behind. So again, notice if you've ever felt that way. Maybe it's not just, I don't have energy. It's my energy is actually working against me. Whether it's anxiety or procrastination, both can equally affect our energy levels. So after some reflection with my client, we turned it around. We noticed that the double checking of her work and her team's work was simply a symptom of the fear of not trusting herself. And in fact, that fear was keeping her in a loop of her paradox pattern, which is in essence the drop box for your ego. It's where your ego goes to play and loves to hang out. And it's this loop of doing the same thing that's gotten her to where she was today. She was a powerful managing director, right? Notice again, if your level of energy has gotten you to where you are today, my guess is yes. But the next level, how you want to put yourself out there, how you want to build your personal brand, how you want to get that new role or make a bigger impact, this is what's going to actually require a new form of energy. So we looked at the opposite of, right? Instead of not trusting herself and continuing in that paradox pattern, that loop of doing the same thing that's gotten her to where she is today, what would it look like to trust? I asked her, what would it look like to trust yourself? And as I did, I just could see her shoulders just release, right? The tension just dropped. She kind of loosened up a little bit. And I could see that trust and being open to simply the idea of trusting herself, flow came into her body. Breath entered her body. She was able to open up and connect to a higher level of energy and calm and understanding and decision making simply because she looked at trust and what trusting herself would provide her. So, in answer to your question, Jacqueline, you asked, what are some ways that I can generate my own energy to reinvent and put myself out there? I would actually turn that around a little bit and ask instead, what actions can you put in place to practice trusting yourself? And maybe that is through affirmation work, right? I trust that I have the energy to attend this meeting and not be drained. I trust that I am a magnet for amazing opportunities. I trust that I will have an abundance of energy at the end of the day, right? You can see how we're kind of building on this idea that you already embody the level of energy that you need. We just need to spark it. We just need to pull it up. We just need to alert our subconscious that, hey, now's the time that we're going to dial into that energy. So that's the mindset behind it. There are absolutely some ways that you can do this from what I call a foundational perspective. And I work on the setting a foundation with my clients 100% all the time. Because when your energy is low, my guess is you haven't been paying attention to how much water you're drinking, to how much sleep you're getting. How often have you gone outside today? At all, right? Have you let your face be hit by the sun or a sun lamp? I have to tell you, I've already gotten out my sun lamp for the upcoming fall when daylight savings comes into effect. Some of the foundational moments the foundation of taking care of our body, ways that we learn to take care of our body in grade school, those apply equally to who you are being now and to the energy that you bring into the world. So just pay attention. Simple things. Sleep, eat things that are amazing for you, drink water, get outside. All right. I'm not asking you to run a marathon. I'm not even asking you to work out. Simply gift yourself a little bit of time to pay attention to some of your foundational items. And that's going to simply up-level you to, let's say, level 2.0. Okay. Level 3.0 comes after level 2.0. We got to maintain our foundation in order to up-level. And as you're practicing the affirmations to trust yourself and building upon the foundation of what your body needs to increase energy, well, that's how you increase energy. And then you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. So I hope you enjoyed this quick episode of Ask Me Anything. I know I did, because I always super enjoy when you reach out and share with me your questions and your insights, because this is a conversation between you and me. So you're welcome to hop over to my website at bebrightlisa.com and go to the Get in Touch page. And that's where we can get connected. And you can share with me your question. You can also find me on Instagram at bebrightlisa. And I look forward to talking with you again next week, because guess what? We have got a guest joining us to talk about how to embody a positive money mindset. So you absolutely don't want to miss out on that. I'll see you then, my friend. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Find Your Clear Vision. I'd love to hear from you. Maybe something we talked about sparked an idea, or maybe you are ready to start your journey. If so, you can find me on the contact page of my website, bebrightlisa.com, or on Instagram at bebrightlisa. If you're feeling extra luminous, please rate and review Find Your Clear Vision on Apple Podcasts. I read all of the reviews and so appreciate the 5 bright stars. Remember, you, my friend, are a dazzling light, and your clear vision is so needed. Until next time, be bright, Lisa.